Alrighty, welcome back to The Devil in Detail, the Grendel Reread podcast. I'm Eli.
I'm Ben, and we're back with our 99th episode.
Ooh,
the Grendel
boy.
Warchild, number 7.
Chapter 47. Yep.
Oh, it's chapter 47.
Chapter 47, yeah.
This is one of the best issues of the whole podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Easily.
Absolute nonstop action, revelations. We get two, first appearances kind of thing, two reveals, two amazing reveals, and it's just a great ish. Let's get into it quick, but real quick first. Ben, what you been up to, buddy?
Just work. Nothing exciting, nothing creative.
Oh.
Your turn. Now you go.
All I've been doing is creative. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Continuing
great.
to work on releases for Cosmic Lion Productions. Working on getting to Los Angeles Comic Con in December. Looking for my monthly releases. Let's see. Ghost Agents is on its way here. Ghost Agents, the Craig Protocol or whatever it's called, is on the way here. Space Knights is at the printer. Tales from the Wolf at the printer. I'm going to be working with Adam Limnaugh to help get his book out. Arcane 3 is in the pipeline. The Treasury edition for Ghost Agents is being prepped, and we're using a Japanese printer for that one. Wow. So it is just going. I did the first Cosmic Lion radio in a long time yesterday. So if you guys like hearing me chatter here, you can hear me chatter over at Cosmic Lion Radio. And now that I've made some life changes here, some major life changes, I'm getting back into Cosmic Lion Radio. This month, we have Michael Jan Friedman, the author of the X-Men Star Trek crossover novel, and the author of, hundreds of Star Trek comics, over 30 Star Trek novels, and a 10-time New York Times bestseller. It's insane. He was super fun to talk to with my one-time co-host, Manny Gomez. So super fun, super great time. It's a great time to be a Cosmic Lion Productions fan. So go to CosmicLionProductions.com for more. And right now, let's kick it to the theme song. Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah. Vivat Grendel. It's like the devil is my best friend. 100 rows with the pen to the fork end, or till time end. Like Orion, Jupiter, my kin, bloodline private. We control the whole shit. The wolf won't beef, then we feast off the rip. Behold the devil in detail. Behold the devil in detail.
All right, thank you again to Manus and Zach for that amazing theme song. We're just going for his first name. Can't keep up. Though I put it in the subtext last issue, but I don't remember what it is.
You must be talking about Easy You Busy.
Easy You Busy, aka Laserdisc, aka DJ ZJ.
There's another
AKA
one.
Whatever it's called, Plasma or something.
Now he's always on to something new. You gotta innovate, Eli.
You gotta innovate. Stay fresh.
Matt's doing this. It's like a biomechanical steampunk kind of thing.
For sure.
We
see the gears.
The sexy buff human parts of Grendel Prime next to the steamy buff gears in the background. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like that.
Chapter 47, Devil in Chains.
This is a good recap. I really enjoy how much recap material Matt puts in this, and being in the floppy the first time this series, getting to see the recaps without the Grendel Cycle graphic design kind of obscuring the text. But can I read this?
Sure, let's read it.
With Imperial forces on the trail once again, Grendel had attempted another diversion by leading the chase into the hot zones of the OPEC wastelands. There, with Grendel's power severely crippled by the nuclear winter, our heroes fell prey to a tribe of fanatical radioactive mutants. What a pitch. Meanwhile, Laurel has confronted Heath with a rumor currently being broadcast on a pirate radio station. The air is, in fact, alive. Heath has denied the rumor, but promised to hunt down and imprison the broadcasters, just as the mutant tribe's High Priest was about to sacrifice Grendel, a military assault team attacks the gathering, driving off the mutants and securing possession of the captives for themselves. Oh, so this is important to remember that I think that in previous readings I had thought that the broadcasters were the military group, but I think it's other people doing other non-Laurel agenda Orion a lot of pro Orion chatter once you get outside of Denver.
Right, exactly. People who are loyal to the original Khan.
Yeah, man.
And this first page, this first spread is absolutely beautiful work by Bernie and Catherine. Like, just really cool how you see the paint and I feel like this is exactly like what you see when you're asleep and your eyes are closed, and you kind of see like the inside of your eyelids and it's kind of dark, and then it's like red a little bit.
You see the
and then
veins
light,
and shit.
Right, and the light's kind of like spilling through there, and he's finally awake. He's being jostled awake by the leader of this clan.
Yeah, man. That all Bernie page is one of his best in the entire book.
I didn't even see the guy's face in like
you didn't see the face?
The fourth panel there, whatever.
You didn't see Azif's face or whatever?
That's awesome.
All right. Yeah, so he wakes him up. This is Azif, and the big reveal in this awesome drawing. It looks like man, it looks so good. Is that his flesh? He's twisted and evil, more machine than man. Where Eli are his legs and feet. I'm a little confused by that.
The boots are like part of the whole contraption, though. On one side, he doesn't have like the lower leg.
Yeah.
So it's like they just like disconnected him at the knee there. They were like trying to get his shoes off.
I'm just confused because I feel like there should be a whole bunch of gears and stuff on the ground, but there aren't.
Right.
But I do really like how his power suit is
like peeled
splayed
back.
Open.
Holy
shit.
They
gotta keep it over. So a few weeks ago we talked about like maybe it's just this and it inflates like around it, like it uses the solar energy to like that's how he like gets bigger and buffer.
Yeah. Something.
But
there's an element we're not seeing here for sure.
Well, later on he does explicitly say like, put me back together again now in a way that makes it sound like there are all those
there's a bunch of parts
gears
somewhere.
They're on a table off camera.
Exactly. And so of course he's like immediately he wakes up and he's like, where's Jupiter? Where's the boy? Where is he? And he's like, safe enough for now. But and then he goes on the next page to get some exposition going to say like, you're in no position to bark orders. We're here. We are the rebel faction. We are the only true followers of Orion Asante, and like you have no idea who he even is. And he's like, oh, really, fool?
Yeah. He got this nice Vatican City Roman statue.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. They also say that they were like in the catacombs of what used to be Vatican City.
So this thing they got on his eye, they put that there, right? That's like a plug-in. That's their own. They have a compatible port for that.
Yeah.
Convenient.
It's probably USB or USB-C. Maybe USB-F by that point.
Eyeball. It's the eyeball.
The eye port right there.
The thing about this issue is I think almost every single page, except for the first two, changes scene. And the pacing gets so fucking crazy.
Yes.
The one thing that sort of like slows it down or like always makes me scratch my head is that, as the pace quickens, we see more and more of Heath doing like, being the real power behind, whatever it is, like making these calls and coordinating with the military groups and all this stuff. Yeah. And he's always just like it's very like bland expository. Maybe that's the point.
Right.
It almost seems to slow down the story, but there he is, last issue he's like in that like locker room, that like boiler room office. So he's very menacing. And the other thing I'll say about Heath is that the way that Matt inks him really puts a lot of character.
Yes.
So it doesn't really matter that maybe that's the point, that he's saying this very dry, like, yes, please go here and then report back there. And if you don't come, I want to hear reports every 3 hours and all this stuff. But like really, it's all about the inking, all the character and the drawing.
Exactly. And there's these two rising action things that are going on, and then it's like it like punches you in the stomach with like the bureaucracy, and then it goes ba 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 ba, but then it's like ba 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 ba, so it's kind of this kind of like lub dub, like breathing kind of thing, breathe in, breathe out twice or something. And so they're in a meeting here, and she's like, we need to get it. What I'm basically want to do is I want to marry off Crystal, and then we can get this new heir. And this, this little douchebag here, he's like, well, what if the heir's actually really alive? And she's like, you son of a bitch, get out of here. Kill him.
This is the big reveal that the tension with Crystal all along was that she was pawning her as a marriage prop.
Exactly.
That's the whole thing. That's
Yep.
all their conflict.
All right, so then we flash back to this gang of Grendels, and they're kind of arguing. They're like, is he telling the truth? He can't really be, he didn't really know Orion. You can't really know this, like, our deity, this person, and he's like, you really need this proof? Well, I've got this recording. Help me, Orion. You're my only hope.
Yeah, for sure, man. This is not the only place where this book from 93 feels like and predicts a lot of Star Wars imagery and vibes and
future canon kind of shit.
And that's a good thing. Yeah, it's like the George Lucas vibes in this are in the whole thing are so strong, and they really come together in this series. Yeah,
well,
so
it's
Orion
kind of like
up.
junky future type of vibe too,
Yeah, the lived future. Oh, we didn't even talk about the pigeons shitting on the Orion statue. Let's Orion the Orion hologram speaks. Greetings, citizens. I am Orion Asante, first Grendel Khan and ruler of the planet Earth.
Mm-hmm. And then immediately flashback to the underground. What are you thinking?
Yeah. It's just
we immediately flashback.
The pace just keeps you on your toes. It's hard to remember.
Yeah, dude. So, and then Crystal's watching TV, and she's like, it looks like there's an arranged marriage. She's watching like Entertainment Tonight, and it looks like the arranged marriage is on for Crystal. And she's spit takes. She's like, what the hell?
She wigs the fuck out.
Susan's behind her, like doing some things. She's like, I don't freaking believe this. And Susan's trying to calm her down, and she just grabs one of her barbells and hawks it right at the TV, smashing and crashing. And
Susan's got a great Grendel tank top on.
Yeah, I want that tank, dude. That's sick. And then
so she wigs out down. And they make out. Now let me tell you something, man. This panel where they do kiss, where it's lit and colored for mood and tone.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's missing from a lot of this book, where it's all like very locally colored. It's all like sort of yellow and white light on all of it. But once all these times that Bernie like gets into the shadows and limits the palette, like it always works. Yeah. Man, oh man.
She's like, I guess I can't call you Guard anymore. And she's like, Susan. My name is Susan.
And that's why this book is worth a lot of money. First appearance of Susan's name.
That's right. And first showing.
You want to get it? Yeah, you should make Prime. A note when you send it to CGC. You say, just so you know, CGC, first app Susan's name. I want it on the tag.
The first app, Grendel Prime's face.
Yeah, and first app Grendel Prime face. This is probably
this is a big book.
The most valuable issue in terms of first apps.
Agreed.
I mean, it's not worth a lot of money, but it's rich in app value.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We continue with the recording from Orion. My legacy runs deep, but is as fragile as the ecosystem that supports it. And he continues, and he talks about Jupiter and how his one son is going to be the future. He's going to be everything. He's the bearer of my message. He is everything that I want. And he signs off with a Vivat Grendel. And then they're like, well, damn.
Then this last paragraph is great. Thus, it is by my wish for the good of the state that the bearer of this message has done whatever he has done.
Right, exactly. So I guess this message was programmed in to kind of like show if he killed the leader of your thing, here's this video, and
So that
now
anyone,
Prime is
so
the
that
ruler.
anyone loyal to Orion would be like, oh, this is the
Oh.
living will of Orion.
Exactly, literally.
And they, and they're pretty much. I it takes a few more beats to get sold on this until the action rises.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, then on the next page, he's like, the leader, what was his name again? Azif. Is like, well, why would the Grendel Khan choose you? Like, why would he make you the instrument of your will? And he's like, I'm the only one, that would like go through this. I've been dead numerous times. My will is unwavering for, my passion for Orion is unmatched. Again, another story that is left untold that we would love to see is like who this man was before. Where did he come from? How did he pledge his allegiance to Prime? How did they meet? Or sorry, to Orion? How did they meet? Like, that's a story.
The question that it seems really turns their screw at the end is when he asks them, why else would the Arab just be following me into the OPEC wastelands? And this is great. You turn the page and the answer is there. Because of love and compassion and the things that temper the Grendel spirit. Wow. Susan and Crystal, nude, making out, splash, beautiful, beautiful mood work by Bernie. This is what it is. But George Lucas rhyming ring theory looks just like Brian Lee Sung and Christine Spar.
Exactly. And it's also got that, the shadowing, which we know Matt loves. He talked about it with Alex Toth in The Shadow, and it was clear in the Panda Bros, with the shades and all this stuff, with the panels, the lines,
the Venetian line,
exactly.
The Venetian blind cast shadows. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. So anyway,
well, Crystal's like, we gotta go, dude. Yeah,
we gotta go.
I can't stay here any longer. Flashback really quick to
last time we talked about this. We talked about the mutants. It's very, very similar how they do bleed together.
Yes.
Remember that one? Hey, it's like the exact same kind of scenario where this vampire shows up, starts slaughtering people, and Orion Jupiter can. We know he is not passive.
That's right. Because we turned the page. Oh no! Well, we don't see that just yet. The next page, then we turn and we get Heath, and he's talking with his the Grendel stormtroopers that are out looking around. The Red Devils. Is there
anything in this? This is just like logistics and this
just
is like
again,
going to work reading.
We lost
stuff.
them. We got a word that they're heading to Rome, and so he's just like get everyone and follow them. Like I feel like there's this page in every book, in every issue.
Yeah. I really but there's like the month of mourning Grendel parade shit going on.
Right.
And look at this. These guys who are marching, they have the fancy samurai masks. It's a very star-bellied Sneetch kind of scenario here.
Yeah.
If you look at these idiots with the flat helmets.
That's right.
I'd like to see a story about how the junior varsity squad gets treated by the samurai dudes.
Yeah. All right, then we flash back immediately to Jupiter, who this amazingly rendered, beautiful drawing here. This page is so sick.
Yeah.
It kind of gives me some vibes of remember Crimson? Did you read Crimson? Umberto Ramos. There's these super hip gangs.
I know you're talking about. Yeah.
These super hip gangs of punk rock vamps.
Yeah,
and
goth
stuff.
vampires.
Yeah, it's really cool. Love it. I love that book. And
Bernie here kills it. He does everything I'm complaining about him not doing. He does here.
Yeah.
Just want to say.
Well, as he lunges at Jupiter, does the spin move here, flips him back, and he's like, "You little bastard!" He's running away, but as soon as he does, he runs into these goth vamps.
Crimson, these Humberto Ramos
from the first issue. Yeah.
Hey, if you look at Matt's work on this guy's glove in his big reveal, it's very Jay Geldof. Got the Jay Geldof wiggle going.
That's right.
Nice.
I love the little nods, man. And then we're back to the crew. Azif is like, "What do you think, Walter? Do we believe this guy? Is the message real?" And then someone runs down. He's like, "Oh shit, we're being intruded. We're being
no.
We're being
it's
invaded.
that the kid's gone.
Oh, the kid's gone.
And people
Reggie,
are
Malcolm,
dead.
and Charlie are dead.
Yeah. Wow.
Like, what? He's like,
Yeah,
you
so the
ignorant
paladin.
fools. He is spitting. He's spitting mad. And he's like, rebuild my body at once. He's like, just do it, James.
Yeah, rebuild. See, that's what it is. He says rebuilding. So there's a whole table of parts.
Of parts, yeah.
Yeah, put
Maybe
back
they were like
together, yeah.
tinkering and looking through these. Like, there has to be some sort of like gel packs or like a pants made of muscle or something like that. You know, like he's not just wearing leather pants. I mean, these pants obviously have some sort of liquid metal something. Anyway,
This goo stuff. It's all over.
He also says that he's got an internal tracking device inside Jupiter. He can track him. So then we're back at this month of mourning, this ceremony.
This is a seppuku ceremony.
Absolutely. Well,
This
not
is the
necessarily
guy.
seppuku.
This is the guy in the board.
That would be self-death.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, you'll see. You shall see, my friend. This is the guy from the board meeting.
Right.
Who said maybe he's alive.
Yeah, maybe he's alive.
So she gets herself on her fascist execution kick.
Mm-hmm. Really nice. The paintings, the rendering of her on the TV screens, no holding lines,
Yeah,
all color, just really cool.
and I really like this crowd at the bottom. Very well cast. Very The Jam in a few places.
Yeah.
I always like when they take their time with the regular people. That's like the one thing. We never get to go in someone's house until Devil May Care. Until
we saw Epi's house though, but that's really
regular people's house.
Okay, yeah, absolutely
not. Not we don't
not a
ever
lunatic's trash dump.
Yeah, not a disgusting blood and rusty nail home.
Yeah.
So to see they always have people dressed. No one's in Star Trek outfits,
right.
For the most part. They're all wearing normal clothes, and even the further in the future, they're still in jeans and t-shirts.
Right. Yeah, and sweaters and suit jackets and puffy coats and a transgression we cannot allow. And so he pulled. Oh yeah, I see. Okay, yeah, I misread this. Yes. Yeah, okay, obviously. So he pulls out the sword and he goes no, and he can't do it, and he draws a little bit of blood, and that's when the Grendel samurai from behind slices his head in twine.
It's totally Lone Wolf and Cub, obviously. But I think the part that's most interesting and I'm most curious about seeing a story about, since it's been emphasized twice in the last 3 pages, is how did Orion, what's the story about Orion pulling all these Japanese cultural fashion things into them, especially when Great Japan was there? What had happened to Great Japan in the time? You know what I mean? Maybe that happened. Maybe that happened before. Maybe that was happening, because that's the thing. Because we're only inside the Pope's house and Epi's house. We don't know. There's not really a meter against horrible death castle or trash heap.
Well, we do get inside Orion's house a bit, and we do see some of the
an aristocrat.
Yeah, that's true. But we do see some of the Japanese influence there, I feel like. And so maybe that's just he was interested in it or something, and then continued that to be the dress.
I mean, it starts with Tajiro. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, this
very good observation, Ben. All right, so we're back here. He's got a socket wrench, and James is putting Prime back together.
Look at this fucking panel.
Psycho. Oh yeah. It's so interesting, the expression, is she enjoying it? Is she scared? Is she it's almost, I don't know, excitement or danger, or it's really
I feel like we're not talking about Pat McEwen enough.
Agreed.
He's so precise
Yes.
And then Matt puts a different kind of precision on it. These are really fucking good comics.
Yes.
All right.
Amazing.
So yeah. So the guys
Yeah.
do the song and it's a funny drawing.
He's like,
He's got his tongue out. It's like
yeah,
we
and
haven't
they
had a
charged
funny one
him
in a
up.
while.
Yeah. And like how many's in your resistance? Nearly 100. And nearly 80% are warriors. So they're ready. They're like, okay, these vampires came, we're ready to, get going. And the background work is amazing. Though I will say I almost feel like Prime looks a little smaller, a little less buff
Yeah, well,
here than
he's not very charged. He
so
only
you
has
feel like when he
enough.
charges up, he gets like more muscular.
I feel like we've talked about that a little bit,
Yeah.
but the thing is, this isn't by Simon Bisley.
No, that's true. Yeah.
Also, it's hard to tell if he's been in the process of being taken apart or if there's like a spiritual moment or whatever the fuck.
Right.
But I think it's fair to say that the suit, it's like it's like a still suit from Dune.
Yeah.
It's literally that, with all the ripples on the chest and all these things. So maybe Matt's trying to signify that when he can get buffer.
Yeah, and it all expands, the ripples straighten out.
And when does he get the spikes in the back?
Oh, I was looking through is it
that in
Devil's
Batman?
Quest? Well, there's one that was the backup stories in a Tales thing. And I think that's the first use of that. Yeah, Devil's Quest.
That's where he gets that, right?
Yeah.
So I think that maybe this it's like, ooh, the suit can sort of it can change shape in a way. It's like
right.
Barry Allen's ring or whatever,
Oh, right. Like
it can
exactly.
do
It can
whatever.
grow
it has maximum storage capacity because he's got wings in Devil's Odyssey and all this
that's
stuff.
True. Yeah.
But maybe
Which is
he got
thousands of
upgrades
years
at some
later.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he's getting some upgrades.
He's got like a replicator system in there. All right,
You
so
know
we
what I was
back.
thinking?
Oh,
I have one more thought.
Yeah.
Speaking of his size and his sort of interesting shape, this was a lot more than the last issue. He looks like Lil Abner. His huge feet.
Oh,
huge feet and sort of the lanky, skinny ankles and the huge broad build. I couldn't get that out of my head. All right. I'm ready.
Next page, we get one panel of Heath, who's kind of just we think we found him. They're underneath the Vatican, and he's like, "Take him, but the boy must stay alive."
I feel about these panels of Heath the way I do about watching a television show you may have heard of. It's called The Apprentice. It's a game show about going to work. No interest. And I really feel the same way about these Heath panels. It's just I try to read them and I'm trying to tease out meaning. And to me, the meaning is just how imposing he is visually, how this the image is telling you that he's conniving, and the words are just like reading emails.
It's there to make that something's on their tail more than Prime isn't just wandering around. They're being chased every moment. They're being they're never safe, they're never free, they're never unchased. So then we're right back in.
Yeah, Azif tells them that they've been monitoring the vampire cult. And they're pretty sure that they're north of them in Siberia. No sun, don't need running water. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. So on the next page, rumble in the jungle. There's a bongo in the jungle. Well, that's all right. They're not really in the jungle. They're in. Never mind. Just wanted to get that Jethro Tull.
Shout out Shrek.
Yeah. And he's like, "Fucker, what was that? God damn it!" And then they get a message. They're like, "Oh, okay, I see." I was like, "Is that a floating TV?" But no, it's kind of hitched up there in the corner. And they're like, "They're coming there." And he's like, "Brian," he's like, "God damn it, was this your people? Are these, you brought all these people here?" And he's like, "Dude, you brought me here." And he's like, "Yeah, that's right. Okay, load up." I love that. Yeah, I love that.
I mean, Azif is totally convinced of the Paladin's. This is the best day of his life. I mean,
Yeah, really, it's like
Orion's dude is telling him what an asshole he is.
exactly. And here's where this the action really starts rising, and there's some really great cinematic, amazing stuff occurs. So like we're going back and forth.
This is in Dakota.
Yep, on page 20, we're back in Dakota, and we see this hand coming out for one of these stormtroopers, grabs him by the head, cracks his neck, takes his clothes, and then they're like only 3 cams to the garage, okay, and then around the corner, just immediately blasting away, and we're back below, in Rome or whatever.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then
When Susan, it leads from Susan showing her gun
right around the corner,
guns going off in Rome.
exactly.
Look
And
at
then
Susan's eyewear and tell me that doesn't look like Annie's podcasting
pod
racing
racing
gear.
Hey, this is Anakin Skywalker coming to you for the pod racing podcast.
It really does like look at that. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
All right, so everyone gets all these rebels, all of these guys get blasted
They're
fuck
getting
up.
blasted up. And then right as they're like, nothing can save us, and then we go to this cam, we see the camera. Hello, bug. She shoots it, and right as that blows up, we see that's actually back into beneath.
Yeah, it keeps going back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah, man. And so and they're shooting. And he's like,
it really plays with when we talk about the transitions, whether it would be one panel, and then the scene would play for at least a spread, or at least 3 pages. But this is just like sometimes it feels like, oh man, it's crazy. I love it.
Yeah. And then Azif gets hit by one. Grendel Prime grabs him. He's like, the others need their leader. Go, I've got it from here. Shoot it off. He's like, let's seal off this quarter. He throws a grenade. Boom! They start running. And right as we see that, we see Susan again blast this dude away. Crystal, get in the Jeep. They run over there and they fly out of there in the fantastic car looking. Actually, this kind of looks like Orion's car that he rode in with his sisters. But they cruise out through the thing.
It's a Jeep.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a Jeep. The sound effect on it is really, really great with the R's. The R's curve backwards.
Yes.
Can I go back one more?
Sure.
I want to talk about the transition between 21 and 22 because it ends with Susan. It goes from the Vatican. Then you've got the sequence of Susan. It's the POV of the camera. Hello, little bug. She's pointing it. And then you turn and the first panel is just like something like a camera being exploded in the Vatican. It flows so well.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
It's so much like a film, so much like a movie scene.
Yeah.
And then back to the end here.
This is like the next day, I think. This is hours later because like they're all Azif is bandaged up. They had like 120 guys, now they got 8.
Yep. And they're like, "Are you ready? Are you ready to stand together? As the will of Orion, so be it. Vivat Grendel," and they tear off, off to the next spot again.
I feel like this panel doesn't Orion inspire this panel in God and the Devil at the climax, where he's like leading all of he's got like all the people from like Lazarus or like all the systems people that are behind him.
Yeah.
He like rallies them in their flying car. Like that's a thing, right? There's an assault. Is it
an assault on the church that when they go up to the top of the church and then they have
I think it is
battle up
I
there.
think it is COP in Orion.
Yeah. Verse Orion, COP versus Orion.
COP with Orion. Because COP becomes all the clans.
Oh, that's
I think.
right. Yeah. Oof.
I'm not sure.
Dang. Well,
this
speaking
is a complicated
of all that,
story.
It really is.
Yeah. Speaking of all that, here it is.
The afterword is the Epi Thatcher and all that. We have another. I didn't get to read the letters this week, unfortunately, but then it's really cool because it ends with a note from Lady Di about being on tour with Dave Sim. Who she even says, Dave Sim? Yes, that Dave Sim. Avowed anti-feminist, anti-editor? Well, hey, none of your business. Blame it on Frank Miller. Wow, man. Really cool.
Sure. Blame it on Frank Miller. Why not?
That's been done before. All right. Gosh, man, I'm like almost out of breath at the end of that. That's crazy.
Really good.
Yeah.
One of the like easily the best paced issue in the entire series.
Right.
Easily.
Right.
One of the best drawn. Really satisfying. It's really satisfying to see Jupiter have a little bit of fight even though he gets kidnapped.
That's right.
It's really exciting to see these guys that are like these 8 guys that are loyal to Orion being like, yeah, you know what, this is the guy. And like when they saddle up at the end, like it's a great cliffhanger.
Absolutely. And you know, I read this for the first time in the trade, and you know, now that we're reading it issue by issue, it's really like,
Yeah.
you know, these little chapters move so fast, and that's why when you read it in the trade, it flows so well and is so action packed, and you'll read 2, 3, 4 issues at once and be like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
It's funny to me that this story, which won the Eisner, is very good, is 10 years into the run, is 10 issues long, and if you go to Behold the Devil, 25 years in, 8 issues long, much tighter story.
Yeah.
This one is so like serialized and pulpy and monster of the week. I feel like maybe it's like I mean that's what they wanted to do, so that's what they did.
Yeah.
But it also sort of feels like well Odyssey is like that too in its way. Odyssey's very episodic,
Very
but
much
it's got
so.
those few like 1 or 2 issue things. But I gotta tell you, when Crucible comes out, it's gonna be I think it's really gonna help define through structure what the Paladin is all about, because he went through so much before.
Yeah.
It's been through so much at this point, and I'm really excited for us to go through, you know, the Greg Rucka and Devil's Quest and the Batman story, and I guess we got to redo. So we got to redo early Odyssey as well. We got to do the first
Yeah, we can get there.
3
Yeah,
or 4 issues of Odyssey.
Yeah.
Oh, that's at the very end. That's after all the tales, though, because
Oh, that's at the very end.
it's
Yeah,
like 2,000 years after all this.
Exactly. Yes, that'll be some of the last stuff we do. But it's great because there's new stuff coming out. There's still new stuff, and it's
and
just
we're only halfway through our podcasting project. So
that's right.
don't worry, loyal listeners. Join the conversation in
That's
the
right.
comment section below, and you be the conversation. You guys are experts.
That's right. Got any questions? Want to know anything? Episode 100. Do you want to know anything, Ben? Anything? Episode 100 is coming up. It's going to be huge. It is next. We're going to be working hard on making something huge and amazing for you. So until then,
questions?
Do you have any questions, Ben? Until next week, Vivat Grendel.
Is it over yet?
And keep on Grendeling.